Hello. So today I wanted to chat with you a little bit more about what you might expect in a spirit baby reading while you're pregnant. I was actually called to do this video from questions that I've received. I feel like people are interested, but also curious, what does this entail? And I first want to just start off by saying that each spirit baby reading is completely different than the next, that I kind of dabble in my toolkit of gifts and choose to see intuitively what we're being called to work with. But as for the reading aspect, whenever we are doing a spirit baby reading, I'm first tapping in. We're bringing ourselves into a meditative state. And so we're relaxing ourselves into the space, because when our minds are too busy, we're not really allowed to receive the messages in this calm and nourishing environment. And it's no surprise that, of course, this would be the environment that is needed to communicate with spirit babies, because this is a mothering energy. This is the nourishing, the loving, the womb space, the safe space energy that they desire while they're communicating. Especially for babies who are currently in your belly, that are pregnant, in the womb space, earth side, like they're here. They are actually in a different space. They're almost like in between heaven and earth. They're kind of going back and forth during this time. They're really getting used to the frequencies of earth. The heaviness that earth has in the frequencies is definitely much more, dense than the frequency that they're used to. And so a lot of the times in the first trimester, babies seem to be very quiet. And I've noticed this because babies like to, they're like preparing their space. They're also in a big transition. It's like how you might feel if you're moving from New York to LA. Like, it's a big move and you've got all these things to do. Like, this is kind of the space that they're in. So they seem to be quite quiet, and sometimes they don't feel like communicating during that time. It's just not needed. It's not what they're desiring. But I have felt that, or I've noticed through a lot of readings, that during the second and third trimester, babies love to communicate. They give their tips, their opinions about what they're desiring and wanting moving forward. So we can dig a little deeper into that, but we're starting off by a beautiful meditation, and then we're tapping in. And when I tap in, I'm connecting with your highest self, and I'm tapping in with your baby's highest self. And this is really in the purest alignment. So all messages that are coming through are in highest alignment with God's source, and we're welcoming in these messages with love. And we're allowing the messages to be felt and to be heard and to be received just as they are supposed to in divine timing. And so a lot of the times you can come back and listen to these recordings and receive different messages each and every time. So we're tapping in. I'm feeling into your body, your physical vessel, what it is that maybe your highest self is desiring for you to focus on to keep yourself in the most nourishing and loving frequency possible for this very, especially if this is your first child, like large part of your path. With each child, we rebirth ourselves with each child that we birth. And so this is a really big time, not only for your family and for your baby, but this is also huge time for you. So your highest self will bring forth tips and inspiration, maybe books or ways to shift your diet, or things that you are being called to limit, or family that you're being called to connect with more. Like the tips that come in are just so, they're just a lot. There's so many, the spectrum of tips that can come in when we're asking your highest self for inspiration and moving forward is just, it's a lot of stuff that comes through. It's never the same. And so then we tap in with your spirit baby and your star baby, your baby's coming earthside, your baby that is ready and preparing and growing within your womb space. whenever baby comes through, it always has this loving, beautiful, like rainbows and sprinkles energy. They're so, so positive, so brilliant and bright, and they're bringing forth that energy through us. And that's why, like, I always notice, whenever we're pregnant, they're like, oh, you're glowing, that they'll say this. And this is true. You really are glowing. Not only is your body emanating this beautiful light, but this baby within you is glowing as well. And it's like this beautiful combination, this beautiful connection. And so when baby comes through, it's always just this beautiful essence that comes through with the messages. They sometimes have an opinion about a lot of things, about maybe what you're eating and what they need. If you're experiencing any, stressors in your pregnancy or things that you have questions about, this is where we can really tap in and see if there are any answers, any opinions regarding this. I have a lot of mothers who will ask questions, about the birth and what the baby desires, about the name, and stuff like this. Sometimes they'll have an opinion. A lot of the time, it feels like they're very open to what the mother has decided. It's almost like you're connected with your baby. And so really following your intuition is like the brightest path ahead. And so a lot of these messages will come through, and they can seem quite simple sometimes. And what I've noticed is that they're awakening the inner knowing that you already have within you. My readings aren't here to tell you what to do. They're to inspire and awaken your inner knowing, your inner intuition, your intuitive mama within, to open up to the path ahead and to feel more confident moving forward. So this is the space where we can really ask a lot of questions. And then afterwards, sometimes if mother is open, we like to bring through frequencies and light codes. I like to consider light codes as like a living prayer. It's a prayer through tonal work, through frequencies. Sometimes they are humming and sounds, and sometimes they are actual tones. And what we're doing is we're acclimating your vessel with your babies. And so it's almost like a healing in itself, where we're allowing this calibration to take place within your vessel to connect the two of you in a more harmonious way moving forward. It can just bring through more ease, joy, fulfillment, and passion into your life. And so if this is something that is called for mama to experience, I usually will get the inner knowing to kind of bring it up that, codes want to come through. And you can just lay back and receive. Or if that's something that you're not interested in receiving, then we can completely go into a simple meditative space and just allow our vessel to acclimate. And this is almost like if you've experienced Reiki before, or if you have experienced any other energy healings, or even like a sound bath, if you've done those before. It's just a space where you're allowing your vessel to receive the love and the nourishment. And so whatever I'm intuitively called to do in these moments is what will kind of come through for this part of the reading. There is an energy healing method that I use quite often called the chrysalis. And it is a crystal cocoon, and it's this beautiful, beautiful, nourishing space where we can kind of go together. God's source is leading the way, and we're allowing ourselves to really sit in this cozy, comfortable space to recalibrate and bring our body into the new frequency. It's almost like it's activating parts of your DNA that have been quiet, and lighting up these beautiful knowings within. So if I'm called to go there, it's another beautiful option that we can bring through in these readings. It really depends on what type of reading you decide on, the length. I know like shorter readings would be more for just questions wanting to be answered. And then we can, the larger readings are obviously, we have more space to play. So I'm just checking in, seeing if there's anything else. Yeah. Spirit babies are mentioning that our inner children are definitely invited into this space. So it's not supposed to feel serious. It's not supposed to feel down and intense. It's definitely always very playful and exciting and loving. That is the energy that I desire to bring through, and the spirit babies as well. And so that is what my intentions are for these types of readings, and for all the readings and my work really in general. is to assist women, especially the feminine, in illuminating this beautiful light within, and just opening them up to the inner knowing that they already have within themselves to illuminate their golden path ahead. So I hope that this answers some of your questions on what you might experience during a spirit baby pregnancy reading. And I'm excited to do more of them moving forward. I know that the babies are also excited as well. It's almost like a beautiful introduction. It's an introduction to the frequency of your child, and the answers and the questions can come through for you. I know that I want to lastly mention, I know I have two babies myself, two boys myself, and so I have experienced pregnancy, and I know how the messages and the opinions and all the different outside noises can get quite loud, and sometimes can be overstimulating and over dysregulating. And so sometimes when we center ourselves and we come into something like this, we can offer ourselves the nourishment and the love that our vessel is desiring. It really is like a womb space, a space to be held, to grow and to be loved. And so that is the space that I am offering, and I'm just excited to do that for you. Have a beautiful day, and thank you so much for listening to what it's like to have a spirit baby pregnancy reading. Bye.